Hello and welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. I'm Dustin, this is Brent. In this episode, we wanted to give you a few names who we think are going to be a little overvalued this year for your football drafts. Now these guys probably are going to have decent seasons, but we just think they're going to go a couple rounds too early. First guy, Antonio Bryant, great season last year, but we just really don't see how he's going to be able to repeat this year. The quarterback situation out there is a mess, and we'd be shocked if he even came close to his 08 numbers.
Yeah, it is a little ugly out there. Next we have Gore. And now a lot of the other experts have Gore ranked ahead of guys like Slayton, Jacobs, Chris Johnson, which we just think's a little too high. He had a great 06 season, but since then his numbers have been steadily on the decline. And you got to remember, he plays out there in San Francisco that has zero passing game, which means the game plan every week is to stop Frank Gore, and that's not really what you want out of your RB1 for your fantasy team.
No, definitely not. Moving down, we got Chris Beanie Wells, rookie out there for the pass-friendly Arizona team. Now, there's no guarantee he's even going to be getting a majority of the carries, having Tim Hightower out there. And we've seen him ranked in front of guys like Larry Johnson, Willie Parker, established starting running backs, or at least going to start the season as the starting running backs. And we're just not really sure if you should be giving Wells this much hype, especially at this point.
Yeah, even I would take LJ over Wells at this point. He has completely screwed me the last 2 years. Killing me. Next on the list is Michael Crabtree out there, and I got to go back to the Bay, and I'm sorry, you Niners fans, but he's on an abysmal passing offense, and you're going to think, hey, a couple rookies last year, and Deshaun Jackson and Eddie Royal had great seasons, but they came to teams that already had a good passing offense. Michael Crabtree doesn't really have that luxury, and he's getting a lot of value because of his name and a lot of hype.
Yeah, way too much hype around Crabtree. Next, we got another receiver in Santonio Holmes. Everyone's going to remember that Super Bowl catch last year, and he's had hype around him every year in the league, but he's never really lived up to it. He's never had a 1,000-yard season, and he didn't even have one game over 100 yards last year. We've seen him ranked in front of guys like Hines Ward and Braylon Edwards, and we see it every year too with Steelers players. They just seem like they get more hype around him than other people in the NFL. So just be real careful how much value you give Holmes on draft day.
Next on our list is Maurice Jones-Drew, and I know I can already tell the emails are coming.
They're typing them right now.
You're gonna have some angry people out there, but this is people that are overvalued and not necessarily fantasy busts, and he's got to be on the list. There's a lot of experts out there that even have him ranked as the number one overall player. And we find that hard to believe for somebody that's not rushed for over 1,000 yards in his entire career. Now, I know what the emails are going to say. New offensive line. He doesn't have to split carries anymore. But you got to figure, don't you want a guy that's done it before to be your first overall pick, not a guy that you're hoping is finally a fantasy stud he should be?
Yeah, you got to be careful about Jones-Drew on draft day. It's a little scary with the number one pick.
Go ahead, send the email still.
They're coming. Next, we got Ben Roethlisberger. Sorry, another Steeler. But let's just face it, he's not that good of a fantasy quarterback. Yeah, he had a great 07 season. He threw for 32 touchdowns. But last year, his touchdowns came crashing back down to earth, and we just really don't see him getting anywhere close to 32 touchdowns again this year. We've seen him ranked in front of guys like Carson Palmer and Jay Cutler. We just think they have a bigger upside than Roethlisberger. Yes, he does win Super Bowls, but he doesn't win fantasy championships.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. Next on my list and last on my list is Darren McFadden. Other experts have him ranked ahead of Joseph Adai, Thomas Jones, John Stewart, Larry Johnson. And that's just crazy. He's on a terrible offense, and he was a huge bust last year. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but he wasn't that good. And right now they're looking at Michael Bush taking carries, and Fargus has always been quality for Oakland. So before you get into the name hype, just look out from Darren McFadden.
Yeah, it could be 2 years, 2 busts for McFadden. Not a good start. Last on our list is Eddie Royal. Great rookie year, but with Cutler moving on, that kind of scares us. And we think he might be able to match his numbers last year with Orton, but we think that could even be a stretch. We've seen him ranked in front of guys like Chad Ochocinco and TJ Houshmandzadeh, and even if he does match his numbers from last year, he shouldn't be put in front of these proven players.
Absolutely not. Now, if you have any questions on who to keep, who's overvalued, who's undervalued, please feel free to log on to FantasySmackTalk.com and post it on our forums. My name is Brent. This is Dustin. Thanks for your time.